Hi, I'm Sandy Highland, Business Development Manager with Sacramento Delta Property Management. I'm here today. My guest is Kurt Bullock with Bullock Insurance, and Kurt is going to speak to us today about additional insured. I feel like that's a hanging up point for a lot of our new clients who've never heard of it before, and I am terrible at explaining insurance. It's just not my forte, so I decided that Kurt, being the expert, he should explain it to us. So Kurt, explain what additional insured really means to our clients.
Sandy, good question. So if you're an owner and you have an income property and you want to hire a property manager, you usually end up signing a management agreement. So in that management agreement, there's usually an indemnity clause.
Yes.
So in order to protect everybody that deals with the property, the owner that owns the property and you, the property manager, you want to be named on the owner's landlord policy as additional insured. For example, if a tenant had a party and a guest was injured, there was a lawsuit, you would be named in the lawsuit because you're the property manager, as well as the owner of the property.
That's right.
And when you get named in the lawsuit, you can take that lawsuit and turn it over to the insurance company and they'll represent you because you're managing the property and you want to be protected just for the liability. They call it premises liability.
Okay.
So it's a good thing. And there's a few carriers that'll do it and they don't charge. And it's a best practice to protect your property.
Yes. So a lot of times when I'm at a loss for words about how to explain it, obviously he does a better job of explaining it, but he can also take it a step further and tell you what people are charging for the same coverage. And there are products out there that I didn't even know existed. I get the additional question oftentimes about, well, you guys provide eviction protection, but you don't cover the rent. No, because there's a rider for that. The rent can be recovered when you have lost rents through your rider on your policy. And there's literally a laundry list of policies out there that would be of interest to property owners when they're getting into the investment market. The other thing that we found out about was during the fires in Paradise and Napa and during the floods in Houston, we found out that owners who had additional insured with their property managers were able to get help for their tenants faster. We have a lot of investors who don't necessarily live in California and they can't go out to the site right away. So your property manager can act on your behalf immediately in those situations. So that was an added benefit that we didn't even know existed until we saw our fellow NARPM members go through it. So that's another good reason to have it. So a lot of times what we end up with are policies that come in that say additional interest. So that's different than additional insured. And Kurt can explain the difference to us.
Good question. So they kind of sound the same, additional interest and additional insured. Mm-hmm. But additional insured means you as a property manager are covered under the liability on the policy. So if the policy has $1 million limit, you'd be protected under that $1 million limit. Now additional interest just means that insurance carrier, when that policy experiences a change, like a renewal notice, mm-hmm. You're going to get a copy of that notice. It doesn't extend any liability at all. So there's no protection of being named as additional interest as a property manager.
That's a huge difference right there. So there you have it, additional insured and additional interest. That's the difference. And if you have any other questions, Kurt is always kind enough to extend his help. If you need his information, I think we're going to have it in the video for you so that you can talk to him directly about your unique situation and your unique property. Thank you for listening.